Jen came to one of my high school, or a few of my high school games. The first one that I remember her showing up at, she stuck her chair on top of a picnic table in true Jen fashion, right behind home plate. It's nerve-wracking already to have a college coach watching you, and then to have somebody who's in your line of vision every single pitch that you make. But we joked about that story, since it happened all the way through, continue to bring it up to her today just to remind her of that.
She was by far the best coach I've ever had in my life, and I think she saw the passion I had for wanting to be better. And so the two of us, our personalities really mixed well from a coaching and player standpoint. I was the kind of player who, if I didn't get something, I'd go in after practice. I want to see videotape of me doing it, and she could break it down, and she really kind of adapted the coaching to each individual, and with me, we broke it down and got into it, and then gave me something to work on. And then I'd go for an hour and I'd go work on something, and then I'd come back and say, okay, can you look at this now? Is this better?
She had high standards, had high expectations, and she wanted you to meet them. And as a little freshman, you're out there and you're like, oh my gosh. But the more and the longer you got to know Jen, you know how much she genuinely cared about you as a person. And yeah, she'd get frustrated when you would make mistakes, but who doesn't, right? I mean, that's her job. She was the softball coach, and that was her job. But she just genuinely wanted you to be a better ball player.
Putting Jennifer into words, there's a few that come to mind. One would be intense and competitive. She was a fierce competitor. It was a privilege to watch her coach. I admired her ability to want to grow in her profession as well as in her person. And it was always an honor to watch somebody with that kind of commitment to what they were doing here at Scholastica, and the passion she had for her student athletes.
Despite the exterior being really tough, she showed us a lot of grace. 18 to 22-year-olds that were constantly up to something. Some of my favorite memories from both my playing days and assistant coach days, whether it was, we pulled a lot of pranks back in the day, whether it was filling her car with balloons while she was at Blackwoods, placing hundreds and hundreds of googly eyes all over her things in her hotel room. We stole her car once before the conference tournament, placed it in the middle of the pitcher's mound. I got a phone call sitting in class, expletives, where's my car? But she ran with them. She'd be angry in the moment, but always came through in the end, finding humor in what we had brought.
Hi, Darcy. This is Coach Jen Walters' room. What are you guys doing in here?
Nothing. What have you been doing? Planting some flowers.
Looks like a bunch of Dixie cups full of water all over the floor. How long did it take you to pick them all up?
Well, fortunately, I got some assistance from Boyd and Riley.
Poor Boyd and Riley.
And we used a garbage can and the little ice thing to dump them in.
Well, that's what we used to fill them up. Imagine that.
Congratulations, Jen, on your Hall of Fame induction. Thank you for everything you've given to St. Scholastica softball and to me personally, both as a coach and a mentor. Nobody is more deserving of this honor.
Well deserved. I can't think of anyone who deserves to go into a Hall of Fame more than you. It was an honor playing with you, playing for you, and coaching with you. And I know you're going to do more good things in softball because you're never done. And that's the important part for you, is just keep going, right? Take what you have and get better at it. And you've already been the Hall of Fame, I think, for your high school. I think you're in like the Minnesota State Hall of Fame. Now we got the Scholastica one. Just keep adding on, but it's because you're good at what you do and you're passionate, and it's been an honor playing for you.
It's been my privilege to be a player for you and to call you my friend over these past 15 years, 20 years. I just couldn't be happier for you, for everything that you've done for Scholastica and for the sport of softball. and just congratulations on making it into the Hall of Fame. It is well deserved.
Jennifer, I am so happy for you and for you receiving this award. You deserve it. You built this program. It's wonderful on what you put into this program. Softball and the team is grateful for you, as well as I am and the staff, for having had the experience to be with you for the 15 years you were here, and look to see where you're at now. So very excited and congratulations.